experienced the phenomenon where certain tunes loop endlessly in your mind, like an involuntary replay that catches you off guard? It's called an earworm.
And it's no coincidence that certain brands and products have a similar effect, embedding themselves into the minds of youth like an irresistibly catchy melody. It's as if these certain brands have a way of embedding themselves into our minds without us fully acknowledging it.
Yeah, I've heard of like an earworm. It's like when a tune gets stuck in your ear, right?
What they are, they're so annoying.
But just like a melody that captivates us, big tobacco companies create and orchestrate a symphony of their own. I mean, think about it. Have you ever wondered why certain brands or products are associated with feelings of coolness, freedom, or even a sense of belonging? It's not a coincidence. It's a masterful composition of tunes that are made to play to the youth, entering them into a dangerous dance with tobacco. And additionally, the sleek packaging, the vibrant colors, and the alluring imagery are all made to create a masterful blend of temptation. And the big tobacco companies do this not with a blatant call, but with a whisper, one that says this is the key to sophistication, independence, and belonging.
As we unravel this metaphor, it quickly becomes clear that just like a lingering thought, tobacco companies strategically plan its marketing to linger in the minds of the younger generation. Now let's transition from this metaphor to uncovering the deeper harms of tobacco, and then exploring the economic strategies used to sustain the subtle yet pervasive influence. What pricing strategies do you think are used by tobacco companies to maximize profits?
From what I've seen in stores, many tobacco companies and many vape companies sell their products at a discount, and that's what appeals the young people to buy them.
So just from what I've been hearing recently, a lot of tobacco companies actually tend to put their products in more poor areas, and that targets adolescents with less money, and it causes a lot of kids to get hooked onto their products.
And do you know how firms in the tobacco industry tailor their product development and marketing strategies?
From what I've seen, from a teenager perspective, a lot of these companies make their boxes very colorful and very vibrant, and that's what intrigues young people to buy them.
Yeah, from what I've seen online, a lot of firms actually put like really bright and youthful colors in their ads. They also make their products like different flavors like orange, candy, or a lot of other weird flavors that often get kids completely addicted to their product.
And what are the results of deliberate targeting by the tobacco industry?
Deliberate results are addicted teenagers that are addicted to tobacco and nicotine.
Oh, thank you.
It just causes people in our generation to get completely hooked onto their really dangerous products, and as a whole, that's really bad for both our world and future generations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But now that you've learned about how all tobacco companies market to the youth and their economic outcomes, it's time that we move on to our next segment, where you can finally learn how you would be able to combat the tactics of tobacco companies.
Welcome to Get Involved, where you can learn different ways you can keep you and your friends safe from the tactics of tobacco companies. In this segment, you will learn 3 different ways that will be useful to you.
First, our first method is to say no. Now, if you or your friend sees a product that is associated with tobacco, simply remind yourself of the various consequences that are associated with the product, and additionally, how tobacco companies use their tactics to trick you, and then say no. And then if a friend attempts to offer you a tobacco product, try to attempt at even re-educating them about the consequences that were aforementioned, because saying no to tobacco is the best way to get rid of it.
And second, join the fight against big tobacco companies by further educating yourself and sharing resources with your peers and your family. Many of these resources are available online.
But last but not least, let's understand our third final method, in which we have to learn how to create a specific environment. This is exactly the matter, because our final method involves creating a safe and secure environment for friends and family who want to quit smoking. You can do this with multiple resources, but specifically, there are safety helplines online, as well as websites where you can find ways to educate yourself on doing so.
Remember, these ways work best when implemented together, creating a comprehensive approach to tackling tobacco and its associated challenges. By combining education, advocacy, and support, you can contribute to creating healthier and safer communities.
Now finally, remember, just like an earworm, tobacco firms have a way of creating and implementing ideas of fruity flavors and independence within the youth and adults alike. But it's also important that we are able to recognize these vast social inequities, and if we do not conquer them now, it becomes a problem for future generations tomorrow. And finally, if you or someone else you think you might know could possibly benefit from this video, please share it with them so that we are able to cure this problem indefinitely. Thank you.
You know, if we look back historically, the industry realized that very few 40-year-olds wake up and say, hey, I think I'll start smoking today. It's almost all a teenage adolescent thing. Most smokers get hooked on nicotine between the ages of 11 to 12 up to about 18 to 20. So the industry goes after them.